Thanks for joining me. This is Danny and the Porch Golems, and welcome back to Real Tech, episode number 13, in which we are going to set up a on-demand cobbleworks system. So let's get started. So now that we're getting a lot of cobblestone from our crate quarry that we did a couple episodes ago over there, and I'm getting ready to make a huge rail network that's going to be spanning many, many miles, I'm going to need a lot of byproducts of cobblestone. And specifically, what I want to do is set up automatic crafting, autocrafting, I guess we could call it, for gravel, sand, clay, stone, smooth stone, and andesite. All of these things can be obtained from cobblestone, which we basically have an infinite supply. And these are all things that I need a lot of. Actually, smooth stone is just something that I need a lot for crafting, and andesite is also something I need a lot for crafting, so I definitely want to have a lot of those things on hand. We're going to be using a combination of the Pretty Pipes Autocrafting system, which essentially works like machine crafting. It allows us to send items to machines with the expectation of some result. We're also going to be using the Create grinder for a lot of these things, and then some of them are just crafting recipes. So I'm actually going to start at the end, and that is with our smooth stone and stone, not the andesite yet, the smooth stone and stone, because those are things that need to be made in furnaces, and I actually want to have furnace crafting set up for some other things also. In our Pretty Pipes episode, we had talked a little bit about how the Pretty Pipes crafting system works. We did kind of a little sample thing here with this furnace where we are crafting stone from cobblestone. And the way it works is that we have an input pipe that has the crafting module, and the crafting module allows us to specify the recipe. So there are different tiers of crafting modules. This is the lowest tier, which is basically one item in, one item out, which covers all furnace recipes, so that's all we're going to need for this. The higher tier crafting modules, they just basically have more slots, but they all have one thing in common, and that is that it is one recipe per module. So we're going to need multiple modules. We can have up to 3 crafting modules in each pipe, but we are going to want more than that. Obviously, with the furnace, we only have one input, and that's the top. So what I did in this crazy setup that you see here, which I'm obviously going to clean up at some point, but I wanted to leave everything exposed so that you could see. Oh, actually, I didn't finish. I didn't finish explaining this process. So then for the output, we then have an extraction module that pulls from the furnace and then sends it back into our Pretty Pipe system. And that's basically telling Pretty Pipes that, hey, we got the product that we wanted to craft. So what I did over here, I have a pipe going into this furnace as an input on the top, and it's coming from this chest. And as you can see, it is not touching any of the other pipes. So it's actually its own network. So our Pretty Pipe system that has this terminal on it doesn't even know about this pipe, or this pipe rather, or this furnace. What it does know about is this chest. So that chest, I've got pipes touching every side with this chest, which is going to allow us to put crafting modules in all these different pipes going into this chest. So all of our furnace crafting recipes, so like that one with the stone, we would actually put that here. And then the stone is going to be put into this chest. And then our system will be waiting because it will have put stone in that chest, and it'll be cobblestone. It will have put cobblestone in that chest, and it will be expecting stone. So then what's going to happen is this pipe is going to extract the stone from the chest, and it's going to insert it into the furnace. And then down here, I'm going to have an extracting module because this pipe is going into our main Pretty Pipe system. So then our Pretty Pipe system will know that, hey, we got our stone. Make sense? Well, this part is easy now. I put another low crafting module in there, and all we really have to do is say smooth stone. Ta-da, that's it. We're done. I actually removed the pipes from the front because I don't think we're going to need them. We're going to be able to do 3, 6, 9, 12 crafting recipes all going into this furnace. I think that's going to be sufficient. We need 2 extraction modules, And the low one should be fine. This isn't going to be a high-speed system. It's furnaces. Furnaces that are hooked up to an external heater from Immersive Engineering. So I've already got one extraction module in there. We want to pull out of this furnace. Also, we may as well pull out of this furnace too. This furnace, really, I'm just planning on using for my own purposes. Oh, it's putting stuff in. Okay, I have to disconnect this chest. Okay. Because it's the closest chest to the furnace. Until we get crafting modules on there, we're just going to have to keep that disconnected. Just to test our system, I pulled all the stone and smooth stone out of the system. And let's say we want a stack of smooth stone. We click request. It's going to say sending 64 smooth stone, awaiting 64 stone and 64 smooth stone. So it's currently putting cobblestone in this chest, and it actually is probably already sitting up here because this network is actually super fast. So yeah, so this cobblestone is already sitting in here, and the stone is actually being put in there as it's being made in order to be sent back for smooth stone. But it's trickling in here slowly because this pipe is actually really slow. It's not part of our fast network, but whatever. It's faster than the furnace, so we don't really have to worry about that. You know what? I should actually have it distributed to both furnaces. Why not? We have 2 furnaces. Why not use them both and make it go faster? Now, that would be a super idea, and what I would do is I would put a round robin upgrade on here so that it toggles between the 2, and since these are powered by an external heater, we don't have to worry about like doing it 8 at a time because whatever. There's one problem with my setup though, and that is that I've got a wire up there because the external heater is being powered from just over there. So I'm not going to worry about it right now, but I may do that in the future because that would be a super amazing idea. Because then we would get stuff twice as fast. It's almost done with the cobble. As soon as it smelts that last piece of cobble, it's going to start sending in stone. Yeah, look at that. Beautiful. And the smooth stone is trickling in. Hooray. Just like the crusher from Immersive Engineering, the crushing wheels from Create will create gravel if we give it cobblestone, and it'll create sand if we give it gravel, also with the byproduct of clay every once in a while. I do want clay, so hey. Let's take it. We take sand and we put it in a bulk washing system. We get a clay ball. It's only 25% chance. So 16 stacks of sand is going to give us a stack of clay blocks. But we basically have infinite ability to produce those resources. Because we have Pollution in the Realms installed, we do get dust from this. I have a dust filter right here. But the dust has to actually make its way over there in order to get filtered. And the filter has to be fed with paper. It actually also has a byproduct of clay. So we're going to be getting clay from that too. But we'll see how this works out. I might end up having to have some vents in here in order to make sure that the dust all ends up in that vent. Those villagers in the factory are kind of driving me nuts. So I'm going to do something about it. I've got an ingot of clay in here. I have an ingot of molten iron, and I just need a little bit of blood. Oh, we already got pig iron. Okay, I need 1 ingot of pig iron and a saddle. That makes a piggyback. All right, you guys. There we go. I better do this in first person because it's going to hurt him when I go through here, so I need to go fast. That's what you get for annoying me. Now what? Shift? Right click? Oh my god, he's gonna annoy me more now. Oh, there we go. Okay. Don't you go back in there. Okay. Okay, he went in that house. Alright, cool. I just have to remember to keep that door closed. I think they keep coming in here because this is here. And it's actually a workstation for the engineers guy. So like both of these guys were Immersive Engineering villagers at one point, but then they became nitwits after getting trapped up here. Or not nitwits, but unemployed. Oh, sorry. I mean, I can't open the door. I can't open the door. Shoot. Okay, you... No. Don't go... See if they go up there. What is... Why are they so dumb? He's gonna go up there and he's gonna stand on the freaking conveyor belt again. Whoa. No, just get out. Out. Out, out, out. Oh, darn it. He closed that door. Okay, so they can control these doors. Ugh. I just need to bring this to my base, I guess. Oh, but then they'll be in my base. That would be even worse. Why? I chose to live here. In this village. So, I guess I can't complain a whole lot. But they have never come to my house. Like, this is the first time a villager has ever been at my house. And, like, the day that I decide that I want them to stop... I crafted 2 of those, did I not? What the frick? Okay. Ha! Okay, this guy is stuck, it seems. So, let's just take care of this. Of course, we gotta do it in third person. Let's just take you someplace nice. How about... like, someplace really far away. Because, you know, the further away you get from my base, the nicer it gets around here. What is he doing? He better not be going back toward my base. What are you doing? He's going back to my base. What the frick? Why? Why is he going to my base? There's nothing there. I give up. Once again, this should actually be relatively easy. So I've got 2 crafting modules and a low extraction module. I'm just going to put those crafting modules in here. One of them is going to be crafting gravel. We could actually use this recipe too. It doesn't really matter. And the other is going to be crafting sand. Which one is it going to put in there? Okay, so it is putting the sand in there. The extra byproducts, whatever, we'll get them. They'll just go into the system. But as soon as it sees the sand, it will know that the crafting is done. And then that stuff actually ends up getting output into this chest because that's how this filter is set up. So I've got pipes. Oh, I've got a plan to put pipes hooked up to this chest and then connecting to the other pipes. And actually, we might want to put an insert on here to have it insert paper, although we don't really have a good source of paper at the moment. We don't need that connecting on 2 sides. Come on, something. Oops, okay. And then we're going to put the extraction module right there. Now, technically, we could just leave it in that chest and our system would have access to it, but I wanted to end up back in our base, filtered into the storage drawers and all that. The facades, they're kind of opposite what you think. If you click on the bottom, if you're doing a half slab, if you click on the bottom, it goes to the top half. If you click on the top, then it goes to the bottom half. So there, we've got all these pipes that are half covered up. And that's it. I mean, we should be good to go. This is already hooked into our system. I actually simplified this setup so that it just pulls it directly out of here, so we don't have that chest there anymore. All right, let's request some sand. We have 0 gravel and 0 sand. Oh, that doesn't work, huh? Okay. So let's request a stack of sand. And we should see cobblestone got sent down here. It's currently being ground up. It does take a while when it's doing a whole stack at once. So it's there. It's getting pulled really slowly because we have that slow extraction module. So I may want to fix that. But as it's getting pulled from that, it should be getting sent back here. Yes. So now we're seeing gravel get sent back up into the conveyor belt. Ha! Nice. And we can see the gravel and sand particles. Oh, there's already sand in there, and it's still sending out the gravel. Oh, this is amazing. Love this. Nice. Actually, if we look over here, we'll see it sending stuff out. Nice. Gravel is still coming in. Sand is going out. And it does keep up with the grinder, actually, if the grinder is just doing one piece at a time. Nice. This is amazing. Now if we go back to our base, of course we don't have to come down here to do this. I made the request for my base. We just went down there to watch and marvel. But we could just go about our... Come on. I rescued this guy from the crusher, and he just took my bed. All right, so anyway, that stuff is coming in here. We can see we're still awaiting 43. Oh, I don't really need ender pearls, I don't think, do I? Well, I took care of him anyway, and I got an ender pearl out of it. Nice. We got our stack of sand. I actually requested some gravel too, so we're going to get a stack of that soon as well. So we've got our gravel done. We got our sand done. We've got stone and smooth stone. Now actually we're going to get into the harder stuff. The pit of iron column despair. Every time I come over here, there are more of them in this hole. They can get out too, so I don't understand. This is so much easier than Leeds. Plus it's more fun. Whoa. Bouncing with the cows. Oh my gosh, the village idiocy. I didn't want to do this, but this guy's leaving me no choice. Like, he's picking my wheat. I've taken him all the way to the other end of the village. Oh, right. This isn't gonna work. I gotta figure out. I can't place any blocks while he is on my head. So what I'm gonna do is, usually he ends up behind me. And I hope he doesn't push me in there, because that would suck. I mean, it would serve me right, but okay. Yes. Okay. Oh, thank God. I hate doing that. I absolutely hate doing that. 3 nuggets of... Okay. But, you know, we have that option now. After a little bit of off-camera grind, I am ready to set up autocrafting for andesite. So we have a recipe for andesite that is stone and gravel. And to autocraft crafting recipes in this pack, we have a few different options, and none of them are just place down a block and you have free autocrafting. We have the immersive engineering assembler, which is very, very large and difficult to set up. We will be setting up quite a few of those in the future. But since this recipe only requires 2 ingredients, the best way to do it, or the easiest way to do it, is just to use the create mechanical crafters, because we only have to set up 2 mechanical crafters because there's only 2 ingredients. So this is all the stuff we need in order to get this set up. And this includes basically our rotational force setup and all of our filtering and the auto crafting with pretty pipes and everything. We're going to need a couple of mechanical crafters. Like I said, we're going to need a vertical gearbox, a couple cogwheels. To produce our rotational force, we're just putting an encased fan over a magma block. This is going to give us 64 stress units. It's going to be extremely slow, and the crafting process will take forever. So we're going to increase that speed by 4 by having 2 adjustable chain gear shifts along with the encased chain drives, and we'll see how to do that in a second. And then a couple chests, some pretty pipes, a medium crafting module, because we have 2 slots in this recipe. We have to go to the 2nd tier module, and then we also need a couple of extraction modules and a couple of low filter modules. So let's get the create mechanical crafter set up first. Set up and powered, and I've decided I'm going to do it right here because I feel like I can do it relatively compactly. But I'm going to start by putting a chest here. This is actually going to be our output chest, and we're just going to put an extraction module in that output chest so that anything that ends up in that chest will just get pulled back into our system. And then we are going to set up the crafters both facing up so that the output ends up going into that chest. And now we're going to power that guy. And I'm basically just going to dig underground. I don't have a basement in my house yet. I plan on building one someday. But I haven't done it yet. So I'm just going to dig down here. This is actually going to be a pretty compact setup, although it's going to go kind of deep, which is why I made ladders. Actually, you know what? I might put a trapdoor over here because eventually I'm going to have a full basement here. So we may as well just not break that one because that was the wrong one. But we may as well just get... What am I doing? Oh, I can't even pick up... I have no inventory space. Dirt. Ladders. And then I'll put a trapdoor there. All right, anyway, we need to power this thing by setting a cogwheel up next to that. And I'm actually going to put that cogwheel there, and then I'm putting another one down here so that we can put everything else underground. So we're working kind of backwards. We're working at our output, and then our power source is going to be way down at the bottom. So the way the adjustable chain drive works is if it is coming from a source of rotational power, and you give it a redstone signal, it's going to double the speed to an attached encased chain drive. Now, if it were the opposite, the source just had the chain drive and we had the gear shift, the adjustable chain gear shift up here and gave it power, it would cut the speed in half, which can be useful also. Sometimes it's useful to cut your speed down because then your machines will use less rotational force because they will be going slower. So I'm going to do this twice so that we're going to end up ultimately quadrupling the speed because our source of power is going to be attached down here. So actually we do need to go down a couple more blocks. And right here, I'm going to put a vertical gearbox just so that we can kind of keep this whole thing vertical. And then here, I'm going to put a magma block. Now, if you put an encased fan over, blowing downward onto a heat source, so it could be a magma block, it could be a lava block, it could be fire, it will produce rotational energy. And it produces 64 stress units of rotational energy. And as you can see here, it's pretty slow. That would make the crafting super slow. So if we give these guys power, which we did, that's going to double the speed. And then we're going to take that double speed and double it again, which is effectively going to quadruple the speed. At this speed, at the double speed, or at the quadruple speed, our mechanical crafters take up 32 stress units each. So we're actually using all of the power that we're producing right here. So like we're getting the most speed that we can out of that power source. And actually, I'm just going to cover that up for now. Eventually, I'm going to put a trapdoor there. And I'd like to have a full block here because I don't want to be able to see that dirt. We put a stone in there. We put a gravel in there. It is going to craft andesite. Now, it's still kind of slow, but it's not nearly as slow as it would have been had we not done that. So it's going to end up just popping it into that chest, and then we saw it fly over there, and then it's going to end up over here. So we now have 2 andesite because that recipe makes 2 andesite, and we used to have 0. Now I'm going to put a chest here, and that is going to be our source chest, but I'm actually going to break these blocks here for now because we need to run some pretty pipes there. So these are pretty pipes that are hooked into our main system. So we are going to hook that into this chest, and this is going to be our auto-crafting chest, basically. Oops. And we're going to put a crafter, our medium crafting module in there. And we're going to use this andesite recipe. Stone gravel gives us andesite. Ta-da. And then on a separate pretty pipes network, we don't want it to attach to that network. we are going to extract from this chest. Not yet. Well, actually, it doesn't matter because there's nothing in there. So we're going to extract from this chest. And now this connection I'm going to get rid of because we don't want it putting things back into the chest. We're actually going to have pipes going into both of these things. And we're going to disconnect this because we don't want this connected to our main network. And these, sometimes you got to click on them a bunch of times. So I'm going to put a filter module. This is the low filter module, the cheap one, in each of these because it's a very simple filter. This one, can we do? We can't. So we actually have to grab. I know that's in Alpec's plans for this mod to add that feature, to be able to add stuff from JEI to your filters. So we're going to grab a stone and a gravel. And this is a shapeless recipe, so we're going to go grab a stone. And then I'm going to right click on the pipe with an empty hand. And put stone in the filter. And gravel in the other one. And like I said, it doesn't... it doesn't matter which one goes where, because it's a shapeless crafting recipe. So that's it. We're ready. So like if we throw these two in there, they will end up being put in there. Wait. It did not put them where they were supposed to go. That might be a problem. Yay, okay, that worked. So like let's test this, because if we say we want a stack, it's going to await 60 of them because we already have 4, and it's going to put them in that chest. Okay, so that's working. Whoa, those went really fast, which is interesting because these pipes are not pressurized. So it's just going to craft them 2 at a time. And while that's going on, I'm going to cover this up. And that's it, man. Wow. That was actually relatively easy, although the crafting, there was a lot of crafting involved. And I did have to do some testing in creative just to kind of figure out like what the most compact and efficient way to do this was, like as far as like balancing out the stress units and all that and making sure we get enough. And I had considered putting it down in the factory where we already have some stress units in place, but I thought this was the cleanest setup that I could come up with. And then we can watch it and listen to it right here. In a future episode, am planning on doing a very large factory that's going to be basically an autocrafting factory. I think it's going to be like set up maybe somewhere around there. We're going to have an array of immersive engineering assemblers. We're probably going to have a whole bunch of these guys. One of the things I'm going to do in that factory is clay. Not on-demand crafting of clay, but I'm going to have just kind of keep a certain amount of clay on stock just because of the way clay is crafted. Right now we have a fair amount of clay, so I'm not going to worry too much about it at the moment. But there's just not enough space in that factory for me to do that without making a big mess. So I'm going to wait until I have my big autocrafting factory that has more space. This thing is actually really fun to watch. So I'm going to stand here and see you guys off today. We got almost everything done with Cobbleworks. The only thing that we haven't done yet is clay. And I'm going to call Cobbleworks done. When we do our autocrafting factory, the clay will be a part of that, like I mentioned earlier. And then I can put this book back in our little thing when I'm done. So if you have any questions about, I guess, anything we did today, auto crafting with pretty pipes or whatever, definitely feel free to leave them in the comment section below. If you have any comments or ideas for future episodes or whatever, feel free to leave those in the comment section below as well. And of course, if you did enjoy this, please don't forget to click the like button and to join me next time. Thanks for watching. Bye.